ahead and grab your ball and start. And just find those favorite places. We're going to, when we work with a chair like this, there's a couple things that happen, but one is we get a little deeper into our hips. We're going to do that. Then I'm going to work too on some breathing, some understanding of anxiety. Some comments have been made that that's something that we can work on, and we can. Ultimately, and this is just my personal belief, because this goes out on the internet, okay, I try to be this is my belief, it doesn't have to be yours. And that is that I don't know how people do it without a God, a trust in a higher power that knows more than I do. And I come back to that. That's kind of, I hope that that's usually my foundation. It's my anchor. It's what holds me in place. Yes, I still have things that happen that take me off in other directions, but that is where I want my faith to be anchored. So, but mindfulness itself, and we've talked about this before, is being present on purpose. So present on purpose, my choice, I'm here. I'm not, and our brain is meant to think, and so it wanders over here, and then there, and then here, and then here, and then often it goes back to this. Again, it'll go here, oh, I trust it, and then it goes back. And most of that is habitual, because it's where we've stayed. But I do, when you believe in a higher power, there's also a belief in a power that is wanting you to fail. And so I believe in Satan, and I think that there are many times that those thoughts that come, that are even just our thoughts of our inability to do something, come from him. And so I choose, right, to keep bringing myself back. But Jon Kabat-Zinn, his quote, which has been really, I don't know if standardized is the right word, but it is used in all of meditation now. And that is, mindfulness is being present on purpose without judgment, without attaching a judgment to, oh, you went over here again, you're an idiot. Okay? In my opinion, my Savior, my God, would never say that. So I don't think it's always Satan, but I think initially he will do that, and then he's got us on that path that we already go there, and we just stay there, thinking how poorly we do stuff. One of the things I love about yoga, and yoga has helped for me, my faith, become even stronger, because yoga teaches to do without being tied to a result, to do because it's the right thing to do. And that's, oftentimes we want to do stuff. I'm doing this because it's better for my health. I'm doing this because I'm anxious. I'm doing this because my hip hurts. I'm doing this. What if we really, and I think that might be perfection, so it might not be attainable in this life. Well, it isn't. That's my belief again. Is that we come and we be okay with our flaws, be okay with our failings. Doesn't mean we stay and wallow in on just, that's all I do is fail. No, if we never fail, we never have a ladder to climb. There's nowhere to go up. if we don't fail. There's nowhere to pick ourselves back up and go, I could do that differently. And so that is what yoga teaches, is to not be tied to a result. To do because it's the right thing to do. To treat people kindly because it's how we want to be treated. And you think about it and you go, oh, that's like the golden rule. And so that's kind of what happens, is this melding of truth. And we get to choose, what am I going to focus on? Okay. So I know some of you are on the second foot. I totally, yoga for me has saved me, and one of the reasons I feel like it's really been a huge modality that saved me is that when I've been hurt or frustrated or things are rough, something's going not quite right, I can come back and start moving my body. And when I move my body, there is a sense of, oh yeah, I remember. I don't have to be tied to that result. I can be here and I can be present. And so that's what the movement of yoga does for me, is keeps me present. I can be on my mat and moving and off in Wonderland and off making my checklists and off doing all that kind of stuff. But invariably when I breathe and start moving with my breath, which is what we're taught to do in yoga, I come right back here. And when I'm there moving, even if there's a sore part, right? Even if there's like, oh, but I can breathe. And when I can do that through this physical pain in my body, then I really can do that as I walk my life, right? So close your eyes. Let yourself breathe. Let yourself be here right now. Finding maybe some places that are tight. Maybe you're done with your ball. Feet feel tingly and they're fine, and you sit. But either way, today we're going to practice moving with our breath. We're going to get a little deeper into hips. That's why we've got a second chair. Now, for most people that watch this are either have an injury or are aging, okay? Aging's not for the faint of heart. It just isn't. I used to hear that and I'm like, oh yeah, but I'm gonna age beautifully, you know? Yeah, things happen. We're going to do, not tied to a result. I'm not doing this just so that I can age well. That's a great benefit and I will reap that benefit. But that's not my reason for doing it. With that breath, let it just kind of ebb and flow, just like the ocean current, which I think is so amazing, that the current, that's this natural rhythm of the earth, can be so easily paired with my breath. It's a reminder. To me, it's why the beach or the ocean is such a healing place. Thought of that before. Mother Earth is breathing. It is breathing. It moves with this rhythm, this energy. When we shake ourselves and then pause, and we'll do that today, and just let ourselves feel. I always love to start class with a thought, even if it takes me a while to get that thought out of my mouth. You know that sometimes I have to talk for a moment to get the coherency, the clarity. And then pause. If you're doing anything, just let that go. And be okay with the stillness. And then go ahead and start tucking your chin, moving an ear to a shoulder, just moving through the neck. Be gentle. There is no reason not to be. If you find a place that's tight, you might have to move the chin. When I feel some initial tightness when I go here, but if I move my chin towards my shoulder or down a little bit, oh, then I really can. And you just kind of do this little nod with your head, and then come back to your ear and maybe just do a little shaking of the head, no. Again, nodding of the head, yes. Finding those places and then just breathing. When we are over to the side like this, we've opened up the side of the neck a little more. And then go ahead and just lift it up first. Pause and just notice. Notice that one side. You have just increase the energy, increase the blood flow, increase the oxygen with your breath to that location. And the body responds by going, ah. That's why doctors say to do yoga. It has nothing to do with the physical aggressiveness. It's those points. Go ahead and move to the other side. Chin can come down. You're looking for tight. What do we normally do when we feel something in pain? We medicate ourselves or we run away we just run away. Okay, here we're saying, no, this is important. I'm going to stay, turn the chin towards the floor. I'm going to breathe. It's going to be okay because I choose to stay present. When we get fearful, okay, almost always it's either something in our past that might happen again that's been so awful that frightens us. Or we're out of control, we realize that. Or it's something that's happening in the future. Fear really isn't much present. Turn the chin, find another place, pause, take some breaths. Nod gently side to side, wherever you're feeling, make sure and lift the chin too. I find there's maybe a little place right there. Breathing into it and then coming back up gently and pausing. Take a deep breath and an audible exhale. That's a fabulous way to release tension. So what the body does, you can blink your eyes open. So what the body does is it holds on to tension. It wants us tight. Our body tightens, okay? As we age, it tightens every day. It's like, wait a minute, we just got that all worked out and it's tight again, okay? We have to learn to and let it go. Okay?
It cramps up, isn't it?
Pardon?
It cramps up because it's...
Yes, it does. It does. In fact, when we're dehydrated, okay, our body cramps up. It tenses because it doesn't have the fluid. That energy that is a part of the earth, and it is in our body. We are how much percent water?
90 something.
Well, I don't know if it's 90, but it's like 80, 85. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what that number is, and it doesn't matter. So start moving a little bit. Find shoulders. Ooh, okay. I did a whole twisting class yesterday. Can I tell you what this feels like today? It's just like, oh, right? And then I did play pickleball for 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah, we were winning. I hate to play when we're losing, but it's so much more fun when we're winning. So,
Please, in your husband.
yeah. I actually texted him and said, I'm already at pickleball. Because we've got a group that plays, and you can plug in almost every night. I can't do it every night. Probably would get better if I did it every night. Oh, so fine. And if you find a place, maybe it's your low back, right? I've got 2 or 3 of us in here, including myself, low back, just fine. Push down and see if you can move into that. It's like at first, it's like, oh my goodness, what have I done? And then pause and breathe to that. So you'll notice how many times helping us be mindful is finding that breath. Can I be present in every circumstance on purpose? And then I don't make a judgment like, oh, if you did more, your low back wouldn't hurt so much. If you remembered, maybe it's your belly that's hurting. If you ate better. I mean, yeah, we could go on and on. If you didn't play pickleball all the time, and then come back up and pause. Notice, go ahead and take your ear over. Because of our movement, sometimes we're like, oh, that's tight again. So this time, with the ear towards the shoulder, lift this opposite shoulder and pull it back, would you? And oh, yeah, there's a little extra stretch there. This hand, you can grab the chair and pull, and then move the chin, just a gentle move side to side. And then bring it back to center, up and around, up and around. And then reverse that circle, finding, ooh. So one of the things that moving our body creates is a body that can move with greater ease. Okay, go ahead and up and over to the other side.
This is the side that's tight.
It's like that other side isn't tight at all. And then reach down. You're gonna create some resistance. Notice we're not doing this, okay? There's no need to do this. And then shoulder down, gentle wiggles. Maybe the wiggle is just a no nod. Or maybe it's a yes nod. And then find this shoulder lifted up, pull it back and hold on again. Okay, this particular muscle, when you turn the chin down, the sternocleidomastoid, okay, so it's talking about the places it attaches. Comes down, but as we do this and when we pull the shoulder back, it creates the opposition stretch. And then release and come back. You might still have some tightness. When I do both sides really well, I feel it on the back side. So take as if you've got that ball right here. You want to go up and over. Trying to create space in the throat. Still bringing the chin to, like there's something in the way. You can't quite touch the chest. So there's a push into something. Pull the shoulders back and down the back. There's the opposition, and then breathe to that. The chin can't come all the way to the chest. It is blocked by that squishy imaginary ball. This is kind of what our bodies can do. Our imagination can take us and create movement. So often athletes, really top athletes, go ahead and come back up, roll through your shoulders, and then kind of like almost like you're walking or you're swimming, opposite, right? You can get here because that's going to help pull rib cage and get the top part of the shoulder. So athletes will do stuff, right? They'll do the exercise, they'll work their body, they physically will feel it, and then they will sit in a meditation and just picture themselves doing it very well over and over again. They say that it has to be at least 50-50. You can't just do the physical. You've also got to hear, because there's a mental aspect to playing competitively, right? Now, if you're just out for fun, that's a different story, okay? Go ahead and start adding a cat-cow into this with the shoulders. And then maybe a side to side with the shoulders. So the shoulder is lifting as I go. So when we're in a chair doing this, sometimes this, in fact, but you just have to know, we sat on our yoga mats yesterday and we did this in just a regular yoga class because of the isolation and the strength that can come. Go ahead and start adding a twist. You can reach and grab and reach and grab. Once you're in a grab position, next time hold and then pull back. Ooh, yeah. And then lift up and pull back and start getting into the low back with a cow that is not just the shoulders. Tuck your tailbone, untuck your tailbone, and then come out, pause. We're not going to stay as long to feel. Come to the other side. Stay, breathe, lengthen. There's some work going on here, definitely. And then find that little cat-cow movement on this side. If you went to the other side, it's okay first. Okay. Non-judgment, right? We are so harsh on ourselves. It doesn't mean that we don't make choices. We don't live in limbo, never having a right or a wrong. It just means if we make a mistake, we say, oh, one of the things that I've been studying a little bit is this, what we call repentance. And sometimes we think repentance is such a negative word, but it really needs to change. But joyful repentance is a term and phrase that I've been thinking on for the last few months. And then pause and come back. Yeah. So we've got a chair. See if you can bring your foot. I placed it to the right side of everybody in class. It doesn't have to be on your right side first. When we use a chair, we come up higher. Try to get your ball of your foot on the chair and the heel off so that you can have some movement. Okay? That is intense on hips. It can be very intense on hips. Yeah. Put your chair slightly on your mat. There you go. Then you're not going to have the mat's kind of that. Now I want you to, you're just going to take this knee and you're moving it side to side. Now we can move the knee side to side. When we pull it in like this, I want you to kind of reach down with your fingers. It's going to be right in here. You're going to find this big ropey muscle. That's your psoas muscle, okay? That muscle, can you feel how taut it is? When we bring the knee this close to us, up high, it's totally contracted. Because that muscle is here on the spine, but it also attaches down here. So we are totally making that baby contract. Go ahead and take your fingers, push down, and I want you to try and flatten it while it's contract. Now, this is one of the techniques they use. Okay, if you've got, there are some massages, and I have to have where they'll massage, but they'll massage you in the full range of motion, your motion, not just so. When I get a really inflamed hip, I am pushing and pulling it down and finding some sensation. For me, when I push down on that, there's a release of the tension in that muscle. Okay. Be okay with touching your body. Go ahead and release that leg, bring it up. We're just going to hold it in the air and go side to side now. I want you to feel this cross. For me, that's where the pain comes. I can go out to the side and stay all day, but coming back in, and where they found on my hip bone is that on the inside edge it's bone. And so that's what I'm feeling, okay? So you're bringing it up and over and up and back. Now, if you want, I don't know if I'll be able to do that today. Yeah, I can. Try to do it without. You can hold on to that muscle, but this now is going to work our quad muscle. It will also work. You'll start to feel a burn pretty darn fast. Bring it up. See if you can cross it over gently. Now, we're not pushing the knee down. Leave it up, okay? So leave it as high as you can get that. That's, again, another pinch of that hip muscle. push this into the knee. The knee's gonna stay there, and I'd like you to reach around. You can use both hands, you can just use one. Lift it up, and as you lift it, can you twist? You can use your hand on your chair, shoulder on the back, twist over. You're going that way. No, you can do the same leg. You're just twisting that way. Yeah, revolve around. Can you feel the release in your spine with that knee up? You're pulling the knee in. You're trying to create that lift. Let that reach all the way down. Breathe, come all the way back. Lift up the leg and drop it, and then wiggle it. Notice this wiggle feels great. Go ahead and come through the ankle as this wiggle. The problem is we often don't get our legs up high enough to get that into that. So that's something you can always add in. One of the things I love watching is as we do this, and at first we're like, what are we doing? And then when we move it with our breath, I see the class kind of go, oh. That's that same mindfulness, right? Okay, go ahead and grab a block. We're not done with this leg. Push it out. We're going to put the ball of the foot on and just reach the heel towards the floor. Now, some of you really want to get to where you're at a right angle. Okay? You're just trying to reach it down, heel down, toes up. For some of you, that's like a piece of cake because you got a long foot. Spread the little toes, reach them to the ceiling. So they're reaching up while you're reaching down. That's going to change the stretch a little bit. If that's really, really easy, you can always do this and reach it down because we want the heel reaching towards the mat, towards the floor. This is one we can do very easily on the stairs. Make sure you're holding on to a stair. I wouldn't suggest maybe doing it on your, like if you have a big flight of stairs in case you lose balance. But maybe one or two stairs up into the house. Go ahead and come up to up, ooh, and down. And then start rolling through that ankle, creating space there. Now we're going to do this entire thing again before we go to the other side. So, take your chair, lift up the leg, place it on it. Ball of the foot, can you reach the heel down here? Because all of these principles work regardless of it. And then find some movement. Okay, notice you're going to be a little skiwampus probably, but try to pull this hip down. The one that's lifted, try to pull it down, but still lengthen your spine. And then I want you, instead of the wiggle here, pull this whole part of the leg wide. Just pull it wide. Take one hand, it's your opposite. Yeah, nope, to that one. There you go. Back, here we go. Oh, yeah. Try a little twist. Yeah, Debbie was having fun the other day. Pull down with that hip bone, right? It's that right hip bone for all. We're all doing our right side. Doesn't matter if you're on your left side. It's the lifted leg pulled down with that twist. And then come back. See if you can just lift. If you need a hand, it's fine. Come back to center. Lift it up high. Cross it over. Lift it up. Cross it over. Lift it up. Cross it over. Lift it up. Creating movement. We want the hip. What we usually work it right here. This crossover, okay, again, is just a little deeper. If you do it without your hand, you'll start to feel that quad, top of the thigh, work a little bit, go ahead and now cross it over and come here. You can flap it a little. Notice that we're not pushing down on that hip at all today, or on that knee. We're keeping it up. Here we go for the twist the other way. Up and over, find the twist. You're going that way. Yeah, towards the knee. You're twisting towards the knee. Yeah. Hugging the knee in, twist away. See here, that same hip bone, it's lifting, yeah. push down with that while you pull up with your hand. And you'll feel some opposition.
Oh, yeah.
Our body actually thrives on opposition. I hate to tell you that because that's why failure does such an amazing job. Go ahead and release. Lift it up, come back here and just find the stretch for just a moment and then release and bring it down. Pause. For me, my other side is saying it's my turn. I can feel that in my body. Go ahead and pull your chair close. They're pretty light. Lift them up. You don't have to have a chair. A stool works just fine.
That whole side of my body feels bigger.
I know.
And this side feels
It's like, yeah, it's so true. And I think it's the body just saying, oh my gosh, thank you, but now, okay? So up we go. You're trying to go as wide as you can. So I'm not facing the chair. I'm trying to face forward and have the chair be out to the side. I want to push it to where my ball of the foot's on and the heel will be off. Okay, and then I'm just going to wiggle. This is our first side. This might be an easier side. It is for me. We did our hard side first, didn't we? All of us. Find that movement back and forth. Go ahead and find that muscle. Feel that rope. It's a big, strong muscle. And then push down on it. Flatten it. Okay, that's not easy to do. But that's one of the things, when you push down on it, it will help release it. Now, you might feel yourself get a little cramp because you're lifted so high, it's okay. So kind of still move, feeling how that ropey muscle just goes bloop, bloop over your fingers. Bloop, bloop, or under your fingers. Bloop, bloop. Yeah, it's an amazing muscle. But it is, and it's one of the things that it affects this, it affects our low back. When this is tight, it pulls the low back. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get a little cramp out here to the side. If that happens, just release and come back in, okay? Always, always. Don't work into the cramp, okay? And try not to jerk out of it. Okay, that's just a muscle. Either it's dehydrated or it's saying you haven't worked me like that. Go ahead and lift it. You can start with your feet, hands, but we're doing that movement that's going to take us across and lift, across and lift. Notice we're moving quite slowly. Yeah, that requires more muscle. And across. We can move really fast, and that's more momentum. Okay, this is more muscle. Come across. Yeah, get to a point where that thigh is kind of saying, alrighty, how much longer? Okay, it starts to burn. And then bring it over and let yourself feel that. That is a release of the work we've done. But remember, we're bringing this up. Hands coming in. Oh. Come back, square, shoulders back, right? This leg's pulling in. The rib cage is pulling back. And just kind of find the twist. Come in and out. You're yeah, you got it. No, that way. Other arm. There you go. We're twisting away. You can twist this way too, but we're not. We're twisting away into that stretch. Take some breaths and even maybe a little forward back movement. Finding we've worked those ribs. Pulling in, lengthening. Beautifully done. And then go ahead and release. Wobble through that leg, bring it down, wobble through it. I'm just in awe. It does not hurt near as much as this other side. Then come and find your block. Plant and pull down. Push into the heel. Try to reach the toes long. Just find that. You can totally weight it to get it to maybe a little more. When we put it on the block, that creates the opposition for the heel. Same thing if we're stepping on a stair, okay? You want to have, and in your mind, can you picture and really pay attention to the feeling of the pull of the heel down and the push of the the ball of the foot into the block. You'll start to feel the shin is getting some work here. And then go ahead and come up, ooh, and back down. You might have tight ankles and back down. Find some movement in those ankles. Continuing to breathe to that, right? Not holding on to our breath, but continuing to move and to feel. Hold it up, pull it down again, stretch. And then take it down and pause. You can still feel this side saying, you've got a whole more work to do. I can feel it starting, but it's not near. It's just warm and tingly. Okay, so here we go again. Pick it back up, take it up. This time, instead of the wobble, and you can wobble for a minute if it feels so good. That is just juicing up our hip socket. Take it, it's like you're trying to, it's magnetized and it's pulling. And take it as wide as you can, okay? Yeah, and then you're gonna actually twist away from it. Hand on thigh, hand on chair, twist away. Now, as you do that, can you feel the hip lift? This one wants to lift. Pull it down. So just push into it may not go all the way down. We're just really trying to create some opposition. This is inner thigh work. This is twisting. This is getting out of, finding that lift and lengthen. And then gently release. Here we go. If you can do it without, do it without. If you need to lay an arm and assist, do an arm and assist. Cross it over. Don't be in a hurry. Slow it down. Slow it down. If you love to, the more we work like this, the more anxious we become. It doesn't mean we never move fast, but we practice when we can, moving slow. Move with your breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Your muscle will start to fatigue faster. Inhale.
Yes.
Exhale. Inhale. You're like, what the freak? Come on, and then come back. Woo. And wobble. Let's feel that wiggle. Hug it in. Bring the body up. Hold on. Yeah, feeling that way. Perfect. And open through. Breathe. Hugging this leg up, okay? Here we go. We didn't talk about this until the second round. Pull that same hip down. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Lengthen up. Hug it in. Tighten. Find your calm breath for just maybe once. Maybe you're just like, oh, yeah, it's so intense. You know, I don't know about you, but any task I'm doing, if I am like, oh my gosh, I don't have time, go ahead and release. Beautifully done. Bring it down, wobble. Put the foot and reach down with the heel. The toes are reaching up, they're pushing into the block. Reach down with the heel. Find that extra little stretch. Notice that as you reach the heel down and you're really pushing in here, I actually feel this hip drop into the chair. Even though I'm pushing the heel down, it engages all along it can engage along the backside if you're pushing into the block. If all you're doing is reaching the heel down, you'll just feel a stretch. But if you push into the block with the heel down, it'll come up into the hip. So it's just using effectively the body. And then gently release. Go ahead, you're going to keep this block kind of handy. Cat-cow. So you can do a barrel roll. Keeping your eyes closed, moving with your breath. That's a lot of hip work. We're going to do one more twist. Bring your block up and in between your thighs and get it high. Push down on the block. Okay? It's not at your knees. It's up higher than that. So that when you push down, you feel your thighs move down. Okay? push down, move those thighs. When the thighs push down, your femur, your thigh bone is doing this rotation. When that rotates and you're pushing down and you're squeezing in, the opposition is this one's going to go and it's going to open.
It
Okay?
makes you sit up too.
It makes you sit up too. So I want you to think about that. If I sit up straight, is it widening my hips? That's the opposite of that. Because go ahead and release slump. Can you feel? This is going like this. It's not creating any space in the hip, it's actually decreasing space. Bring the block back up, squeeze it together, hands on the block, push down. Squeeze that block, feel that. Now, move in and out of that and notice as I pull back, my low belly pulls up because I'm squeezing and widening at the same time. And yeah, and getting a hip cramp and coming back in. Okay, and then hold, bring the block up. We're going to do one more. Push down, feel the width. This time just lean forward. You'll feel the hips go even a little wider. If you squeeze the block hard enough with that width, you'll feel the low back stretch wide because you're taking and moving those hips out of the socket. It's one of the best things you can do for your low back is to create space. And it blows my mind and it excites me beyond excitement that I can use my body, like my legs, make a difference on what my back's feeling. Again, that's the way his body is. And release. Beautifully done. Go ahead and come around to the back of your chair. So make sure your chair's on something firm. Theirs are all on mats. Okay. Reach down. Oh, yeah. Okay. We have to do this every day. And I could guarantee that any home, well, not every home in the world, has some kind of a countertop that is about hip height. Okay. I'm sure there are some huts that I've been in the Philippines that didn't have them, I must admit. But you have a chair, you have a wall, you can totally just put your hands on the wall, but fold over here. Now, I want you to push your feet into the floor firmly, spread through the toes. That same reach of the toes that we have will engage the legs. Push back with the sit bones, the knees are somewhat bent. Just lengthen the spine. When we use our legs, you're using the hands. Try to reach your head towards your hands. Notice that there is opposition throughout the body. And then gently release. Ooh, walk it in. Wiggle it out. I promise to shake. Yeah, just find that shake. Let everything jiggle, let everything move, forward and back with the knees, in and out with the knees, the shoulders, the head, and then pause and feel the tingle just go. This is our body. This is this beautiful body, okay? Come back, let's find this one more time. Stretch down, reach back. Find that stretch in the sit bones. Bend the knees a little bit more this time, reaching the shin towards your toes or over the toes, and then pull the hips back a little more. Okay, that gets a little deeper into the glutes. Will you just push into the feet and you're just gonna like wave your rear end up and down if you wanna look up here and see what I'm doing. Pushing into the heels to lift, pushing down against the heels. Pushing into the heel to lift, pushing down with the heels. Up and down and up and down and up. Hold the down, find length, reach the head forward, and then come up. Oh yeah, round through the spine. Ooh, move, find where, ooh, can you feel how it's tight in that low back? Okay, beautifully done. And then come back up, we're gonna shake one more time. Just find the shake. This, if you are feeling tension in your body, so if I've got like this, I'm doing a big dinner party or I'm doing something that's going to require this. Just finished trek, okay? I'll get like this, and then I always cut a finger, have to go get stitches, drop something, make a big mess. If I will start this way, pause, take a breath. What's the first thing I need to start? And just go, right? And then the next thing. That's taking all of this tension, and that's like, I'm not over here because I got to get this done. I'm here. And it's practice. This takes practice. And if we don't give ourselves this time every day, I can promise that you will be or I can't do anything. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a standing sun salutation, okay? So holding on here, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, plant the hands and step back. Let that exhale move. Inhale, curl and lift your head, sticking your rear end out. You're keeping a back bend. That's the inhale. Exhale, round. Bend the knees, round. Tuck the tailbone around. Let's do one more of those. Inhale. This is the cow portion of cat-cow, really trying to find a back bend. Lifting the head, looking forward. So we're taking even the neck in this one. And then round, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, keep the knees bent. When inhale, walk the feet back in, and exhale. Let it all go. 5 of those. That's 1. Inhale. Exhale. The inhale curls me. I have to reach the sit bones. That stretches the hamstring. Exhale, curl and round. I stretch into my low back. 1 more of those. Inhale. And exhale. We often do this seated, but we're doing it standing. Come all the way back. Inhale. Audible exhale. Yeah, let go. Inhale up. Exhale, plant. Reach it back. Inhale, curl it open. Exhale. 1 more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, walk the feet in. Audible exhale. Yeah, 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, find the curl. Exhale, find the round. Another one. Inhale, find the curl. Exhale, find the round. Inhale, walk. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, stretch it back. Inhale, find the curl. Exhale, round against it. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Now hold this for a couple of breaths. I want you to move your hips. So take the right hip back and the right rib cage forward. Oh yeah, that's a different stretch. Come back to center, do the other side. So the hip goes back as the same side reaches forward. So you're kind of doing a side bend. It kind of looks like this. You're going like this and this. So 1 more each side. Reach one side. Take it to the other side. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a twist. Come back to the center. Take your right hand. Put it on your left thigh. Right hand, left thigh. Bend the elbow. Just go ahead and bend both elbows. And then look underneath the top arm. And just kind of rotate. Twist. Tuck the chin. Inhale, come back to center. You're right here. Go ahead and change hands. And exhale. Inhale, come back to center. So if the right hand's on the left thigh, I am looking under, right? And under that left arm. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale. This is a little different. We haven't done this before. Inhale. This is homework. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And come back in. Bring it up. Take an inhale. And an audible. Roll through the shoulders. Let's do one more shake. Everything. Shake, wiggle, flop, jiggle, whatever term, and we don't like those terms when it comes to our body. And then pause. Breathe. So, do you feel better than when you started class? That's something you have to determine, right? You might say, well, no, it wasn't much of a workout. That's okay. Come back. Okay, we're just going to do our Shavasana here. You know what? Let me grab your bolsters. And I want you to try both the soft and the hard. So you're going to put this up on your lap and lean over it. I'll get you a soft one. I want you to try a soft one. You're going to want the chair. You may want the chair here. I don't know if that helps or not. To put something on. If it doesn't, you don't have to use it. Let me find two more soft ones. So start with the hard one, and then start with this, and then add the soft one. And I'll show you online in just a sec what we're doing.
Put this on top.
Yeah, see if you can find both of those. Is that better? Is it a better stretch on the back?
No, the stretch is bigger.
Is it bigger just there? Okay.
Lower. Ooh.
Yep, everybody's different. So, we've got the chair. You may not need it, you may need it, okay? I sometimes like to bring that chair in as close as I can get it, so it's touching my other chair. And then I come down. It brings me a little deeper. So, if you don't have bolsters at home, I bet you have pillows, okay? Michelle, bring your feet in a little closer to the chair so that they don't have to be so wide. Give that a try. You might kind of go, no, I like better here. For people that might have large chests or bellies that get in the way, this can be a little bit easier, okay? Try to just let your chin, the softness of the pillow will allow the chin. I like that I can hear, you'll watch my forehead will actually hit the top of the chair. That's also a fabulous place to keep contact with something. I will move my head a little side to side, massaging, almost like I'm shaking my head. No, I keep I'm talking because I'm lifting my head because I'm talking. Keep your head down if you can. Breathe into the back body. Over 60% of our breath capacity is in the back of our body, and we don't use it. When I back breathe, there is a sense of peace and calm that comes over. The reason I want my forehead is that when I go back and forth, that brings me presence so fast because I can feel the pressure right here, right now. Go ahead and nod, yes. Allow yourself to release, to hang out, to let go. And then pretty quick, you're gonna stop even focusing on the breath. You're letting everything go. The breath will continue, but you don't have to focus on a deep inhale and an exhale. Two things of homework this week. One is the standing sun salutation that we did. The second is to find a pause. Find a moment of savasana. A total relaxation, peaceful pose. You start by focusing on your breath, and then you let even the breath go. You're worth the pause. And then gently focus back on your breath. Feel the expansion and the contraction of the inhale and the exhale. Starting to bring awareness back in. Slowly, you can move the head side to side again. Wiggle the fingers. Work your way back to a seat. Remove your bolsters. You can push the chair out of the way. Come back to a seat. Now, ideally, we're on the floor in a yoga class, but we're not. We're in a chair, and it's totally fine. Go ahead and sit up straight. Think of that push down with the thighs, moving the thighs down, widening through the hips, lengthening, lifting you upright. Use your legs to help your back. Bring your hands to your heart center. Close your eyes. Think on the goodness that is each of you, because there is goodness, there is greatness, there is divinity. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for moving bodies with me. Namaste.
Namaste.